This show brought to you by the Entertainment Radio Network and presented in part by Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Hi everybody, I'm Alan Taylor and this is Car and Driver Radio. Today, we're at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. It's the 60th anniversary and I'm sitting here right on the 18th green watching the festivities going on. It is the Car Crazy Hour, and joining me from the Amelia Island Concours, we have Bill Warner, who's my good friend, also another good friend, Corky Coker from Coker Tire, and from The Tonight Show, and a big car enthusiast himself, Jay Leno. Hey, Jeff, do you know he's riding pre-1916 motorcycles from where?
1908 Thor from Kitty Hawk. It's the Cannonball. It's all walks are over. These. I was just telling them, Jay, all these half of these guys over here displaying motorcycles are going to be riding on the Cannonball from Kitty Hawk to Santa Monica. And
I'll be see how far they get outside of Kitty Hawk.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. They're
Actually, I kind of worry about guys that do that because those old bikes, they were meant to run between 8 and maybe 30 miles an hour all the time. And you run something like that at a constant 30 or 35, which seems like nothing to us now, but it seems to me you're just pounding those bearings out. I'm a little worried about some of those old bikes.
You're pounding the hemorrhoids out is what you're pounding.
That's what it is. Well, yeah. Well, that's,
Come on. How do you know that?
I guess that's what you guys call it now.
Hey, Jay, hold on a second here. Pass this over to Jay.
What is
Everybody, Jay Leno's been doing our show. Jay, this is our 10th anniversary of you being on our show.
Wow, what do you got here?
We brought you something here because you're a car guy, and there's a car watch company out there that's called Equip Watches, and this guy is from Detroit.
Right.
And they make a watch that is for the car guy, and we wanted to give you that. Say thank you very much from us and Equip Watches. I'm wearing one. Look at this right here.
Well,
that's basically, isn't that nice?
It's designed to go with denim.
It's
that's
a
great, you guys. Yeah, look at that. Oh, well, that's really neat. Thank you.
So thank you for spending time with us over the last decade.
Thank you. And that's the beauty of doing radio. People can really look at it.
I know. Exactly. Well, that's for you anyway.
That's great. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So anyway, now you're here. We're all here. This is once a year. Of course, you've been going to a lot of big car shows and things lately, haven't you?
Well, I try to go as many as I can, yeah.
Now, Jay Leno's Garage, you're doing a lot more video on there. By the way, great job.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we just passed 210 million hits, so we're doing okay.
210 million! JayLenosGarage.com is what we're talking about.
I mean, if every single one of those folks would have an invitation to go to Amelia Island and buy Coker tires, we'd all be happy.
I keep telling you, come out and let's do a piece for Coker.
I need to.
You know, what we try to do on the website is we try to promote American manufacturers and American-made products. And the smaller the company, the better. And we shoot a video, and they explain what the product is, and it's made in America, and that's what we try to do. You know, I do the website because it's fun, and we try to add about 3 videos a week. And
it's amazing.
It's become pretty popular because a lot of small manufacturers, guys that make trim parts, guys that make tools, even not the Coker Tire is small, but a lot of people just don't know.
Right.
You know, they don't
well,
necessarily.
if they haven't looked in Auto Trader or any of those kind of things, they must not have eyeballs.
I'm just waiting for the invitation on Tonight Show.
Well,
That's really what I want. That's really what I want.
A lot of times you just don't know. You know, a lot of times.
That's true.
A lot of times, 2 things people ignore with old cars: tires and the radiator.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have somebody do the engine. They go, "This thing's overheating."
Yep.
And you know, it might cost you at best $1,000 for a new radiator, or $200 at worst.
Right.
But for some reason, people do it, and they go, "Oh, I finished this car. Now I'm going to put some tires on it." And then they go down the road and they buy some of these replica tires that look like old tires,
but they're not.
Well, you know, they have.
But they're not, he said.
But it's true. They have heavy rubber at one side, and you can never really balance them, or you got to shave them, or Whenever I get my tires from him, I know they're tires that are meant to be driven on the street, especially. You know, I highly recommend those replacement radials. The radials, you can get them into wide white walls. I use them on the Duesenbergs. I use them on the other car. Because I drive my Duesenberg 85 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's a 6,000-pound car. You know, you put some
piece
kind
of junk.
Well, some bias ply show tire, you know, that's just meant to be parked on the field at Pebble Beach. You're going to blow a tire and have an accident. So those are the guys we try to promote.
What did you think when you look at those numbers now? I mean, you're a comedian, you're a television personality, and now you are one of the biggest automotive concerns
Well, not really. I mean,
Come on. I mean, I'm from Car and Driver. I know the power of Jay Leno's love affair with cars and what it means to us three guys beside yourself sitting here. I mean, am I right?
He does it right, though. He really does it right. Just what he was talking about. He's helping the little guy, and he's a responsible collector because he says drive them, do them right, don't do the unsafe thing. So, great kudos to Jay Leno.
I enjoy, I like my Corvair, I like my Tornado. I mean, the Duesenbergs and the Bugattis, these are all fun, but there's not many people can afford those things.
Yeah.
But, to me, a Lotus Elan is just as much fun to drive than an F1 McLaren. And there's really nothing much more fun than a Model T, in an area like Los Angeles where you really can't go much over 45 miles an hour. I use my T every day to go to work. And, I crumple a fender, and it's going to be about $175.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got me. And I buy a brand new fender, and it's painted, and I stick it on.
Yeah.
And and nobody can tell. So you can have a lot of fun in the hobby at a reasonable price. There are a lot of bargains out there. I bought my Tornado for $800 because it was a big dinosaur.
Right.
Yeah, but you only got about $250,000.
Well, that's true.
And it's not front-wheel drive anymore.
No, I'm beginning to feel like George Goebel again here.
But those cars are out there, and you can find them.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Lotus Elan. You can get one to go more than 3 blocks?
I love my Lotus Elan. It's fantastic.
Get your father over here. There's a guy here that is a very interesting story to a guy that you know.
Yeah.
And you have a car in your shop that he was in charge of the design, and it was a turbine engine car. Tell about that car for a second.
You talking about the Chrysler turbine car?
Yes.
Well, they built the 50 of them, and they test market. Imagine doing that now. Saying to 50 to 203 different Americans, we're going to give you a jet car, just drive it and keep track of the record. I mean, with the liability the way it is now, never would happen. Yeah. But it was a great experiment.
You kind of are doing a jet-powered car, right? With the EcoJet?
Yeah.
Now, tell Jay about your dad.
How you doing, Jay? My dad's Chuck Gunderson. He was with Chrysler for 39 years.
This is David Gunderson, by the way.
Right.
Yep, and so he was a project manager. He worked in product planning on that car.
On the Chrysler turbine car?
Yeah, so he took it around the country. I mean, he's here somewhere today, but...
it's amazing when you think that era, the mid-'60s, that Americans are driving jet cars when most of the world still didn't even have piston-powered cars.
Right.
I mean, the technology moves so quickly and so fast. And, I use my turbine car a lot. I mean, the reason it didn't quite make it was still expensive to produce. Yep. Even though Chrysler came up with alloys that were very inexpensive in terms of how expensive. They were able to make a jet engine for about $4,500. A jet engine for a plane, because of the heat, you need exotic metals.
Okay, gotcha.
And what Chrysler did was they brought in a metallurgist, I can't remember his name, from France, and a few other guys, and they worked, and they were able to come up with a metal that had the tensile strength and could withstand
that wouldn't warp
jet engine,
and all that.
right,
Exactly.
and able to do it fairly cheaply. And my Chrysler, it was not meant to be a jet car or a show-off car or a fast car. It was meant to be a family car. And the performance is about the same as a 318 V8 with a 2-barrel on it. That's about what it is. It's about 125 horsepower.
Yeah.
But it's the smoothest car you've ever driven. And to this day, when you get in, you turn the key and it goes, you still feel like it's the future, even though the car is 50 years old.
Isn't there one on the field? I heard it go by earlier.
No, that wasn't a jet car. What you heard was that was the Italian car that was a design study that never had a power plant.
The
Ghia. The Ghia. Yeah.
So your dad, Dave, he was the guy that was actually the guy in charge, Jay, of passing out those 50 cars to people. I mean, think of the story. There's a great
I've heard from a lot of the people. What it was they asked average Americans to write why do you want a turbine car?
Yeah.
And they accepted 203 people. And they wanted not car people, just people that drove cars. And the reason that didn't work was alternative fuel was not an issue then. The only thing the turbine car won't run on is leaded gas, and that's all we had was leaded gas. So consequently, people didn't like having to go out to the truck stop and put diesel in it.
Right.
But when it went to France, it ran on Chanel No. 5 perfume. When they took the car, when they took the car to Mexico, they ran it on tequila. I mean, it would burn on any combination of fuel. Nobody really appreciated the alternative fuel value at the time because gas was 27 cents a gallon. Here's a quarter. Here's a gallon of gas. Nobody really cared. But the car was ahead of its time, but being a jet, the emissions, you just were not going to pass the upcoming emissions for the late 60s and early 70s.
Bill
That's
Warner.
what killed it.
So I was going to get to Jay this weekend and said, I've got an original brand new owner's manual
Oh, cool.
for Chrysler Turbine.
Oh, cool.
But you got to come to Amelia Island to pick it up.
That sounds good to me.
That's how you do it, is it not?
Hey, Dave, tell your dad thanks. Is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, I'd like to shake his hand.
Yep.